Welcome to today's charting session. Today is September 9th, 2024. Yes, 2024. Okay. Anyways, today is going to be very based on discussing drawn liquidity. I think it's going to be a great topic of conversation today. Bias, kind of, time and price is pretty important here. Once again, I mean, today is no news Monday, so things are just generally lower probability anyways. But I think today was very clear drawn liquidity wise, and a lot of you sometimes were kind of confused how we were going about determining our draw. Not much to talk about entry model wise, but when it comes to time and price, and for some entries that were more fake out related, we can go over that because a couple of people took some early inversion setups and got stopped. So let's go over everything. It shouldn't be too long. But yeah, you guys know the way I like to start is just drop into the higher time frames. I'll show you the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and where my mind is at with that. So most people going into this morning, I can guarantee you, would automatically assume a bullish bias. Why would they do this? Well, they're gonna just solely look at the trend and not so much where the liquidity is being generated. So surface level, I mean, this isn't a bad, you should always start pretty surface level regardless. And the trend of price and how it's been moving the last fucking couple of hours is useful and shouldn't be disregarded. But where the liquidity is accumulating and where price can temporarily go to is sort of more important, since we're on the much lower time frames. And so I'll tell you sort of my thought process, right? I did send out a daily bias in the Discord this morning. I know you guys asked for us to keep doing that and stop just only doing it on live. So I sent this morning, and we can read it and just look over this. So I mentioned that this morning I was going to be pretty bearish. Why? Because we hit this unfilled hourly fair value gap. Well, this is the 4 hour, but we hit this unfilled 1 hour really well. Just pretty clean, nice little tap. We were inside this 4 hour as well. And on top of that, we were sort of starting to create this nice sell model, right? You can see all this generated sell side right here, equal lows. We eventually created an unfilled 15-minute. But what do I say? When do I say we're going to take shorts or look for shorts? After the equal highs got taken. Yeah, I say it. We do have equal highs above, so hopefully we can take those out and catch some shorts towards sell side liquidity. Okay, so that pretty much sums up the bias for the morning, right? I can show it here as well. This is the 4 hour. We're in this 4 hour. We end up getting a better tap. Well, this shows you the entire 9 a.m. candle, so, but we were trading around right here, and we do get a nice / better tap into this hourly. And so despite the fact that we have these bullish fair value gaps, price has been bullish, we respected this first tiny 1 hour and kept running higher. There's no doubt about it that there is a high possibility of price sort of retracing now lower, taking that sell side liquidity before continuing higher. And because we're more focused on the lower time frames, we want to be conscious of the fact that there's most likely going to be some solid inversion setups towards the downside now with all this generated sell side. And so I think two big things for me, confirming that there is a high chance of a potential reversal, would be mainly just looking at the leg we're trading on in the higher time frame. Clearly you can see that we've rebalanced this leg. You guys know it's a huge thing for me. I love looking at, are we in the premium, are we in the discount, right? Have we rebalanced this larger time frame move? And clearly you can see that here we have. And so that to me is good confirmation, right? And more importantly, we are inside these bearish PD arrays, being the 1 hour, the 4 hour, etc. Now let's go into for example, the 1 minute. Let's go to before market opens right here. What else can we go to? I want to pop into the 15-minute for y'all. And so this was a bit weird, but we had this 15-minute that got inversed right after at 9:30 it got inversed. But despite this getting inversed, we can disregard that. A new draw came about, and that was this unfilled 15-minute above. And so let's look at how price goes about just playing through all this. So we know two things now. We know that there is a set of equal highs somewhere here. Okay, so these equal highs end up getting taken at about 9:26 regardless. And then we have this unfilled 15-minute. So equal highs gets taken out. That's not much to worry about anymore, right? We had the equal highs right here. These got taken out. And now only thing that we want to look for is this buy side to get taken, some sort of buy side right here, this 15-minute to get rebalanced, and then we can start anticipating some shorts. We have these equal lows. We have clear sell side level right here. On top of this, below this technically, we have equal lows once again. So very blatant just sell side liquidity that we have here. And let's see what happens. So 9:30 rolls around, has like this little fake out move lower, failure swing, doesn't take out the equal lows, runs higher. What happens? We hit this 15-minute. Okay, cool. Now after hitting this 15-minute, we have nothing more to really worry about in terms of bullish Pbtrading that can be going against us. We left all this liquidity, and we're now starting to anticipate, some sort of sell-off at any given time. But when do we know is the right time to take it? Well, we'll get to that. And so we're looking at price here. Some people get faked out because of this early inversion. I don't know if people got faked out because of this, actually. Yeah, we were still inside of a 2-minute, so no reason to get faked out there. Something I love to see after taking out like a prominent liquidity pool, that being hitting that 15-minute unfilled bearish fair value gap, and also taking out this buy side, is a sweep of our own high or low. In this case, just our internal high right here is going to get swept. So we get that. I think we got one more run higher, or let me see. Okay, so yeah, we got one more run higher. Take out this as well. And now, did this 2-minute get inversed? Okay, so I think this is where the fake out was happening for most people. And I believe some of y'all took this 2-minute inversion to the downside. Some things to note just off rip is we're still respecting this 3-minute. So that's one thing. And we're respecting this. Well, more importantly, we're respecting this 5-minute. So we're still inside this 5-minute. That's going to be the highest time frame in this leg. Clearly respected it. We got another run higher. These runs higher don't really affect our bearish draw because we still have all this liquidity down here. So we're not too worried about, these just constant sweeps of our internal high and little to no displacement above it. And so eventually this is where I think this is where most people were getting faked out. Blake was demonstrating here that ES had yet to meet this hourly draw. So as you can see, ES was super close to this unfilled hourly right here. We have this unfilled hourly fair value gap right above on ES. And it's always great to have ES as a guide and just helping you determine your draw. And so Blake stated that he wanted to wait for ES to hit this draw before anticipating a reversal. And so you can see that eventually ES hits this draw. Now we can go back to NQ, and now we can focus on NQ. So ES hits this draw, and we get this little manipulation move up. So people were entering early off these inversions right here, and ES had yet to hit that unfilled that unfilled hourly, but ES hits it around this candle, and then price rips up one more time on NQ, and eventually we open up this 3 minute. So this 3 minute looked really fucking good. This was my condition. I'm pretty sure it's Blake's condition as well. I'm pretty sure it's like everyone's condition. And this 3 minute just looks super clean. Why? Because we have just a super nice low right here, as well as, oh my god, well, the unfilled 15 minute. That 15 minute time frame just shows it already ripped down, but we have the unfilled 15 minute, which is gonna be, let me mark it out right here. And on top of that, so we have this inversion is good. This 3 minute version is good if it inverses, you know, without fucking ripping through everything, because it's not too discounted in this case. It's not just like this giant fair value gap that's going to give you a shit entry. Like if you get a good inversion of this 3 minute, then it's definitely a good short. You have this clean internal low right here, this 15 minute rebalance, and you still have all these equal lows in the sell side below. So there's really nothing bad about this trade. It's super fucking A+. We're inside higher time frame bearish fair value gap. This 1 hour, this 4 hour, let's see, 15 minute as well. So everything is aligning here. And now that everything is aligning, we just want our entry model to play out. Sort of what I anticipated when I saw that we got this half-assed move that was just close to inversing and didn't inverse. And then the next candle ends up running through all this. And so after we got this run to these objectives right here, I was still willing to see some sort of retracement, and like anywhere around here, just sort of retrace this move, rebalance this leg, and then catch another short towards these equal lows. But clearly you can see the price runs through all this, and there's realistically no fucking entry. If this, you definitely should not be entering off a candle like this, because it is very easy for price to just hit this internal low or hit this 15 minute and then you get stopped out. It's just a stupid way to trade, and it's not ideal. But yeah, so the draw was pretty obvious. The sell-off was bound to happen. It was just a matter of, was price going to give us an entry prior to the sell-off, and it didn't. So after price runs through all this, what do we realize? We realized that price had actually ran down and hit this unfilled 4 hour. So, bro, it's like you're playing a fucking game of chess, all right? You're just analyzing every single move and determining a probability from there. And so we had the sell-off we wanted to see. After price runs down and takes out all the sell side liquidity, we hit an unfilled bullish for value gap on the 4 hour, and now we can start anticipating a bullish move at any given time. And now it's just a matter of waiting for a good entry. But the problem is here that we're pushing close to 11, and the chances of you getting a good entry at this point are super slim. So really, there's not much you can do, because you shouldn't be trading 11, especially after these objectives were met during AM session. But the only reason I'm even showing this is because, you know, if we were to have gotten something during the macro that was like really clean, you know, we would have probably, oh, well, I think there's actually a 5 minute that wasn't too bad, and I ended up getting like stop rated. So oh, there's this 2 minute right here. But we did say that this 2 minute was just kind of scuffed because, right, time, it was inversing around 10:56. Kind of want to wait for 11 a.m. open and see what that does. So this ended up being just like stop rated pretty quickly. There was an unfilled 5 minute, I believe, and yeah, unfilled 5 minute. So it's pretty mechanical. Like, it looked pretty good for the most part, honestly. But time was definitely not aligned here. Why? Because you're just pushing super late into this macro. A new hourly candle's about to open, and it's, you don't know which way the hourly candle's going to open, and you're probably going to get fucked. So I know a decent amount of people probably got, you know, stopped out here. But you can see that after this draw higher ends up being right, and price corrects this move after hitting the 4 hour. And yeah, it's just that's why you just don't trade close to 11 or past 11, in my opinion. And I didn't think 11 was gonna do this much, though. This is pretty surprising. I really thought after AM session had this move just up and down that like lunch hour and 11 were going to be pretty choppy, but this was pretty not anticipated in my brain. But like the draw seemed clear once again after rebalancing that 4 hour and taking out all that sell side. So yeah, I mean, some things to note here is you don't want to be like hyper fixated on ES all the time, and because it can like sort of kill like your technical analysis. But at times where you're sort of looking for that extra confirmation of, is the draw lower, is it higher, it's really useful to have ES pulled up and be looking at stuff like in this case where we had the unfilled hourly above and we wanted to wait for ES to hit that because, you know, ES was trading close to it and they most likely wouldn't both sell off until ES met that objective. And that's what happened. And then going into this, you can see that despite the fact that things were looking super mechanical, 5-minute rebounds, 2-minute inversion, equal lows, sell side liquidity, everything taken, and we rebounced that 4 hour. This doesn't end up working because we are pushing super close to 11, and that's just how it is. You don't want to be taking trades 2 minutes, 3 minutes before an hourly candle opens. It's really easy to just get manipulated out despite your draw being correct. So these are things that you just got to be conscious of if you want to avoid like super shitty losses that are just like annoying. They're like aggravating because you know that your draw is probably right, but there's a high chance of you just getting cooked and getting stopped out of it. So always be conscious of that. You don't want to be taking trades 2-3 minutes before a new hourly candle opens. It's fine to be in trades, you know, before that, and then like whatever, like you just kind of have to hope that the hourly opening goes in your favor. But just be fucking careful. Be really careful when entering trades this late into a session. And I would like, it's, you know, you gotta be patient, guys. If you missed, like, yeah, we didn't get the opportunity to short this because the 3 minute ended up ripping past this bullish or value gap and we couldn't get a clean entry. But these habits are gonna save you a lot of money in the long run, and not just being super impatient to take the first setup you see and sort of gambling that, you know, something like ES is not gonna meet its draw. You can't just take things because you want to, in a sense, and disregard what's like clear. And in this case, that draw for ES was really clear, being so close to it, and a lot of people wanted to disregard that and got fucked. How do we know if it's a good inversion if everything aligns? I'd be entering when everything aligns and gets stop rated sometimes. I mean, if everything aligns, then there's no reason for it to be a bad inversion. I think a really important thing, which a lot of people don't understand, is you don't want to be entering inversions. So like, let's say I'll draw out like this leg, right? Like we'll draw out this same exact leg right here. So 1 second. So let's say we're looking for shorts here. The inversion is right here. This is our internal low right here. This is usually where we break even, or TP1 if we have a 1-to-1. Sick. And so there's one really important thing that you don't want to do is if you're taking shorts, take a super discounted inversion, or if you're taking longs, take a super premium inversion, because for one, you're just going to get horrible risk to reward, and like realistically, that means you're gonna have an unnecessarily large stop loss, just for you to have to go break even super quick. That's fried. So don't take inversions, even if everything is aligning. Do not take inversions if the candle is inversing like all the way down here near internal low, or vice versa, like inversing towards internal, like near internal high. You're most likely gonna get stopped. And especially because a lot of you don't even have like the psychology to see it immediately take internal low and go break even right after. I mean, you're probably, if you were to go break even immediately after internal low or internal high, you'd probably get break even about 90% of the time with inversions this deep into the leg. So if everything is aligning, just take the inversion if it's clean. That's it. Like, just market order the fucking inversion if it's reasonable. And how do you know if it's reasonable? If you just have a reasonable stop loss with a reasonable TP towards your first target. Typically, you'd want about a 1-to-1 towards like internal low or internal high. If you don't, it's not that serious. If it's like something like this where like, let's say like, okay, like internal low might not be 1-to-1, but I'll break even at internal low and then take my first TP at like a 15-minute rebalance down here. You know what I mean? If it's like something like that, it's not that serious. And like you'll probably see us do that a lot, where we'll like break even at internal low or internal high, and then just wait for a more prominent like liquidity pool to be taken before actually taking profits. But what you definitely don't want to do is take a fucking trade like this, because it's just so fucking stupid. You're gonna like force yourself to put your stop loss so much closer or tighter than it should be. So just avoid that. But like you were saying, like, I mean, if everything is lining up, bro, then everything is fucking lining up. There's no disregarding that, and you should not be hesitating. If you're getting stop rated, you shouldn't be getting stop rated unless, like I said, you're not taking them at good times. So I don't know how you define that everything is lining up. Maybe like internally, are you like missing something on the higher time frame? Are you trading at the wrong times? Are you trading from 11 to fucking 1 p.m., like times where you just shouldn't be really taking trades? And have you like back tested how you're entering? I mean, if you're trading the way me and Blake do, then like the statistic, it fucking works. But the problem is with a lot of you guys, it's like you'll sort of take our knowledge that we give you and then sort of let your own psychology convince you that you can sort of finick with it in like ways that you shouldn't, like overly confident ways, early entering, like pre-firing fucking inversions, taking either way too discounted or way too premiumed inversions. And it's like little shit like that that's gonna fuck you over way more than you think. You might think it's not that serious, but it really is. So what is a PD rate? It's just any sort of ICT concept. For the psychology talk, I started college after going through a summer of crazy growth. I've been through 2 PAs and I'm not profitable yet, but my mindset and backtesting have skyrocketed. I have my understanding now. In school, I've stopped thinking about the charts, which is great because I'm way less connected to the money and trading itself, only following the rules. But my lack of studying and charting hurts my confidence. I spend all day studying for school and use all the extra time to trade, and have been sort of feeling lonely / lonely for the grind since it hasn't necessarily paid off yet in terms of profitability. And sometimes it gets hard to envision. Any thoughts? Stephen fucking King, my fault for the novel. Nah, bro, you're good. I mean, I can guarantee you there's a lot of people in the same boat. And really, bro, school is brutal. It does kick your ass. It's a lot of busy work too, which is like what's annoying and not so much like that relevant. But if you have any sort of bad habits that you can, like, what I'm understanding is that you're now going through the phase where, like you said, you're not attached to the money. You're starting to sort of think of it like a game. Like I always say, like maybe like it's like you're getting better at chess and whatever. You're accepting your breaks from the charts as you should and getting your mind off of it for a bit, but you're not necessarily getting too much time to be like just back testing and shit like that. And I don't know how rigorous your schoolwork is or what your schedule necessarily looks like, but if you do have any bad or like mediocrely just not that benefiting habits, maybe like video games or watching TV at night, or something like that, then replace that with a little bit of studying, a little bit of journaling, right? You don't need to go too hard on back testing and all that shit. It's not like you don't need to fucking make your eyes bleed, but something like 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day goes a long way. And you might think you don't have the time, but I'm sure you can definitely find it. And you know, that's like a matter of like how bad do you want it. You have to sacrifice your shit in life for other things like all the time. It's you can't just do everything at 100%. That's the reality. So if there's like a class where you kind of want to like need to slack off a little bit more to, you know, just study trading a bit, then you got to do what you got to do. It sounds like you're on the right path, Ron. It sounds like your psychology is starting to like, you know, get in check and things are clicking. But it does sound like, you know, you're lacking some confidence. And I guess like even another solution could be like maybe spend one day of your trading days instead of fucking trading your account, just only demo trade the entire day and do it like that. It's like live back testing almost. But yeah, I don't care about losses. The hardest part of trading for me is watching a trade set up with a clear draw and then all TVs get hit with no entry. Yeah, it fucking sucks. Honestly, it's just like, it's more like, it's kind of like frustrating. It's just like, why? Like, you know, it's bullshit. But but then you also have to like see the positive in it, which means like, you know what's happening really. You're understanding everything better and better. And you're just being disciplined by not entering, because your fucking entry model wasn't there. And that's the only way you should be looking at it. You're going to get 100 more fucking setups throughout the year. You know what I mean? So just be patient, bro. You got to be patient. You got to be disciplined. So when days like the fucking last 2 weeks, 3 weeks we had roll around where it's just like you got 24 A+ setups and they all work, like you want to be in a good mindset for those times. Was a 2 minute at 10:54 a bad trade? I feel like the draw was right because it stopped me and then hit TPs. So I don't think it was a bad trade. I just do think pushing close to 11 a.m. on a no news Monday, it's lower probability. I mean, it's what we tell you guys all the time. It's no news Monday. Don't fucking trade your live capital. Trade some demo, you know, forward test. And it's for these reasons. If it hit, if it didn't hit, like there's not much to say because it's a low probability day. But on any other given day, I think that's a pretty solid fucking trade. I don't think it was bad at all. It was really mechanical. If you know anything, you know, just like if you ran through this checklist right here before, you know that practically everything checked out here. So it wasn't a bad trade. I just think, you know, you got to be conscious of the fact that it's really easy to get stop rated on a no news Monday, especially like after we had such a big move down. To just assume that price would V-shape recovery and now start like all the bullish volume kicking in and get that long to work out with like no fucking stop rates is a bit overly optimistic. But the trade itself, right, if we're speaking just in terms of that setup, it looked really good. I hear you and Blake say a lot, for example, this 15 minutes opening up or this 5 minutes opening. Why does that matter and how exactly does it affect how you look for entries? So like, let me put this into perspective. The reason this is so important, and well, this is actually why I didn't really like this 2 minute too much, is because as we're going into this, this 2 minute, well, I want to use like a better example, but should I just draw it out? So, okay. Let's say we're having just this bullish move. Price is running higher and higher and higher. And we start looking for shorts around here, right? Around this leg. And so we want to start looking for shorts around here. We see like an inversion setup starting to form. But as we're like about to get this inversion set up, as we're about to take some shorts to the downside, and let's say we have equal lows down here being our primary target. Oh wait, fuck, I'm actually saying it in vice versa. I apologize. So we want to take the short, price is running lower here, and as we're running lower to inverse, like let's say this is like a 5 minute fair value gap, volatility, volatility. Yeah, no. Volume, volatility is like relatively low, sort of dying out. This inversion is taking a while to happen. And what happens when an inversion usually takes a while to happen is you'll open up a higher time frame fair value gap, like a 5 minute or 15 minute. And so we end up opening, or like we're about to open, a 15 minute or a 5 minute fair value gap above us. And so the reason you want to be cautious of this is because you were about to take a short, everything was aligning, you were about to take a short, but suddenly price decided to open up a 5 minute or 15 minute above you. And the reason you got to be conscious of this is because there's a pretty high fucking chance that price is going to now want to retrace into this, and it could easily stop you out, right? It doesn't have to just tap in and, you know, run lower, or it could even be in the leg above. It doesn't have to be in the leg you're trading in, which also happens all the fucking time, that you just get it in like the leg above. It opens up right here. You're about to take an inversion to the downside, and a 15 minute opens up. And now this just creates a super, super easy like stop rate and manipulation for price. Everyone's going to be trading short here. A new 5 minute or 15 minute opens up above, and you'll, you know, probably get stopped out. It'll run and take this high, hit this 5 minute or 15 minute, and then it'll start to sell off. And this is super common. So you just want to be aware of when like 5 and 15 minute fair value gaps are opening near, like sort of near you when you're either going into a trade or just trading in general, because it's very likely that price is going to be attracted to that PD ray and manipulate into it before completing the move that you actually want to see. So be conscious, you know, you don't want to be getting manipulated out of shit all the time. Sometimes we use SMT as a confluence that provides more confidence. Can you please explain more why today's SMT before the 3 minute inverse fair value gap failed? Before the 3 minute inverse fair value gap failed. So, I mean, the main reason this one failed is just because using ES as a guide. Wait, but the 3 minute, because I don't know if you're specifically talking about, because if you're, okay, she's talking about this 3 minute. So during this 3 minute, ES still hadn't met that condition to take that hourly high. So we're not too focused on the SMT here, because why do we not care if there's an SMT at these highs? And I know you're talking about specifically, I believe it was, I'll just pull them up. Let's see. So where are we? Whatever. I know we had an SMT before, and then just they both ended up running higher. But let me give you the reason why that probably failed, and it's because ES at the time. This is where we were trading with ES at the time. We were literally edging this fucking. Oh my God. We were edging this bearish fair value gap unfilled right above it. And so we didn't want to be shorting until this condition got met. And so eventually, if we look at the way both of them traded as ES ran to, bro, this is such a fucking mess. I hate bar replay so much. What the fuck is going on? Oh, does it not put them? Okay, I'm fried. All right. Sorry. This is annoying. Fuck this shit. I'm just gonna go back to what I was explaining without ES. ES hadn't hit that hourly unfilled, and it was very clearly drawing towards it slowly and slowly. And so a lot of people are getting manipulated out of this 3 minute because they want to enter before ES even takes out the fucking hourly, well, not takes out, but before it even reaches the hourly fair value gap. And so ES reaches it. I believe it was this candle right here. And you just got to be careful because ES still hasn't reacted to hitting it. And so you want to wait for ES to sort of get a reaction from hitting that hourly to confirm that we're bearish. And as we're waiting for that to happen, NQ fucking manipulates up one more time, and then you get the real inversion set up towards the downside. But obviously this also just doesn't really provide a good entry. But this was just a case of like using ES as a guide, and it's not usually going to be this like unclear. Having ES and NQ pulled up is usually far more clear and easy to determine the draw. But today was just a little bit more intricate. Being a low probability day like No News Mondays, it's like those little things that you want to be on the lookout for so you don't get stop rated. But yeah, I mean, I mentioned it earlier in charting, and it was just really the fucking hourly fair value gap getting hit on ES before we looked or decided to take for shorts, because the draw was very clear towards that. So if it's close to internal low, should we wait for a 1 minute retrace and take an inversion off that leg? How do we also know if price is going to sweep internal once again before entering and avoid taking early inverse for value gap? So yeah, if it avoids taking internal low here, okay, let's say it didn't even end up taking internal low here. Like, let's say it got like an inversion like this, and we're like, fuck, like this is a deep inversion. We're not going to take this. And you're like, okay, let me wait for like a retrace into this fucking inversion right here. And price ends up running higher. Fuck yeah, take it. Like, that technically would be the same thing as if you got a clean entry. If it ends up just running past you and hitting your stop loss, like, okay, like that's gonna fucking happen. But it's not because you decided to wait for a retrace. The retrace had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? The setup was still there. So it's fine waiting for a retrace if you're not like, because you're not going to take this short being this discounted in this leg. And I wanted to see a retrace. We just didn't get it. So yeah, I mean, it's sometimes kind of nice for this to actually happen where you get close to this low, this internal low here, and then you get a retrace. Why? Because then you're just sort of accumulating more liquidity like around this level, right? Near this internal low. Not necessarily like a relatively equal low, but you are just generating more liquidity, another internal low, and it could actually be helpful. So yeah, if you get stopped out because you waited for a retrace, that doesn't mean like that you waiting for the retrace was worse than the actual fucking entry off rip. But yeah, do you use ES as a confluence in confirmation when backtesting? You can't even fucking do that. So you just got a raw dog NQ. Sunday still valid if it's a partial fill on Sunday. The volume imbalance on Sunday. Anyways, those volume imbalances, whichever one you're talking about, which I don't know if I'm just being blind right now, but it depends what type of volume imbalance you're talking about. If it's like an opening day gap, then you typically want to see it be filled completely. But if it's just like some sort of fair value gap or some shit, then it's not that serious. Like, it just needs to hit it, you know. And I think like the best way to go about it when like just any sort of volume imbalance, I really don't know which one you're talking about specifically for Sunday, because from what I'm seeing, there's not like too many, like I don't see a significant volume imbalance. But like, I like to just keep it pretty simple, and just, you know, look at where we're trading in a leg. Like for example, like this hourly, I just like to see have we rebalanced the leg and what Pbtrading are being respected. I apologize for not knowing what volume imbalance you're talking about though. I don't know why. Are you like talking about like these unfilled hourly fair value gaps? how's your leave of absence? It was great, bro. I had a lot of time to just focus on myself and build this fucking Discord, which was really the goal. What would you risk on 25K PA per trade? Idea 250 or less, brother. No more than 1%. I've never traded 25Ks. But yeah. Why the DM, bro? I'll look back at it after. You can't do everything at 100%. That's the reality. I don't know why, but that hit me really hard. I'm at NYU, so shit's low-key rigorous, and I definitely have a practitioner's mindset. Like, I have to be perfect at everything I do, give everything 100%, or I'm down on myself. I need to accept the reality. I don't know if you have advice on this as well, but the quote helped me for real. Thank you. Bye-bye. You and Blake really do much for people who really want it. It's appreciated. So, if you want to be, like, real fucking, like, honest with you and, like, give you, like, a little personal story app, like, fucking, obviously, I started trading, you know, almost 2 years ago. It became, like, my fucking life. I was able to manage it during school. Everything was going good. And then I go to fucking Northeastern University. So you do classes one semester, and then you do fucking, like, a paid internship one semester. Like, it's, I don't know what other school system has this shit. It's called co-op. But, like, it's good if you want to build real world experience and have a fucking insane resume by the time you graduate, and then just get, like, you know, like some nutty investment banking job or whatever the fuck you're studying. So that's what the school is oriented around. And January, I started my co-op, and I was, like, thinking, like, you know, maybe I can manage trading and I can do this. Like, I've always, like, I told myself, like, oh, I can just do it all. Like, I'll be able to do it all, like, whatever. And I mean, it didn't take me more than 3 weeks to realize that I was losing so many fucking trades because I couldn't sit down in front of my fucking computer and, like, just look at my trades during New York session open, because I'd have to be in the fucking office at 9 a.m. And, like, at 9:30, I'd, like, go to the fucking bathroom and, like, try to look for trades, and maybe, you know, I could catch something for the 5-10 minutes I was in there. And I could only trade, like, lunch hour, really. Like, it was horrible. Like, it was horrible. And I was also trying to run the fucking Discord. Like, it was super hard. This was, like, I mean, it was pretty early into the Discord. We had, like, 6,000, you know, 7,000 free members. Nothing was paid, nothing, like, whatever. It's just the beginning of fucking PB, and it was growing, and all this shit. And at this time, this is, like, when people were saying, like, yo, make a fucking premium, because the free was just so chaotic. Like, holy fuck. If you were there, you would know, but the free side was chaotic. And, bro, I've, like, previous to this, I've gotten straight A's, like, all my life in school. I've never gotten a B here at Northeastern. I've worked my fucking ass off in school. And I've done plenty of shit. But I had an epiphany where I was just like, you can't be fucking perfect at anything. And there's no such thing at being able to go 100% at multiple things, right? You either go balls deep into one thing, or you go half-ass into many things. And unfortunately, trading and this Discord is one of those things where I'm just like, I can't half-ass this. Like, it's like a skill I've refined for so long. Like, how could I half-ass it now? There's no way. And so I told Northeastern, I'm like, yo, I'm not doing this co-op shit. I'm quitting it. I got a horrible reputation with Northeastern because of it. I can never do one again, which I don't give a fuck about, like, whatever. Like, I obviously, like, don't need to do one again. And I wasn't planning on really doing one anyways. And, like, you know, like, just bad look on, like, resume wise. Like, I quit a fucking job. But I remember being on the phone with my dad, like, that day, and I was like, dude, my heart knows, like, that I have something so fucking amazing going. Like, you know, I've been doing this trading shit for a while. I love it. I'm also starting this Discord, and, like, things are just going super fast, and I want to go balls deep into it. If not, I'll never know. And, like, I would never in my life know if something were to work out if I didn't go balls deep into it. Like, how the fuck am I gonna know if this is meant for me if I can't put 100% into it, right? You don't know that. You don't know if anything works for you if you just half-ass everything in life, because you'll hear the same shit from anyone. And that's, like, if you want something in life really that bad, you need to fucking burn the bridges, like, everything. You need to sacrifice shit. and put 100% into it. That's the only way in life you will ever know if something is meant for you. And if it fails, it's fine, but you put 100% of yourself into it. You know what I mean? Like it's so real, bro. You're never gonna get anywhere in life half-assing things if your brain is just so overwhelmed by so much shit. So I know you're a student, bro, and like it's probably super hard right now, and like you're super stressed. But this is by no means is me telling you like, oh, drop out of school or whatever. If you can manage it, you can manage it. But the second your brain starts becoming so overwhelmed where you can't even focus on either class or trading, like you need to sit down and start writing like what you can sacrifice if you really want to try something like what are you're gonna have to give up something to just put more effort into another. Why do you always say don't trade lunch hours and Friday PM session, bro? Because it's pushing into the weekend and price action, super low volatility, super low probability especially. So I just wouldn't waste your time doing that. It's like the equivalent of like trading like a no news Monday. Break even for 4 months is so harsh, man. Hi, Blake. Most draining part of trading I've ever been since I started. I've really thought of everything. Honestly, recently just started doing the right things, but still feel rocky now. I'm just tired, Pat. What's good, B? I can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
Yo, what's up, Patty?
What up, dog? How are you?
Yo, I'm a freshman or Eastern.
No way. Dude, if you ever need anything, let me know if you want to grab lunch or some shit.
I will, bro. You like me twice.
What's it called? Yeah, a lot of the issues with people who are like break even for a while, I've talked about this personally, like one-on-one with a couple of you guys, specifically Halapster. I don't, you guys can reach out to him. I don't know if he's still in the premium. I think he is, but yeah, he was here like a couple days ago. But I gave him a really good spiel on it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really do too much like one-on-one shit just because it's you know like a lot like mentally, like I already like spend hell time in this Discord, but he's a homie that was playing like video games with hella, and you know I sat down with him for a while and just chopped it up. And I think a big problem with people who have been struggling, as in like break even trading for a while, where it's like you have one really good week, but the next week you just perform shit and you kind of just rinse your profits every time and you don't really seem to advance anywhere. And I think a huge issue that's like where this roots from is not knowing how to actually maintain like consistent risk. A lot of you think you have consistent risk because you'll take some wins, but then after you take some wins, you'll start over leveraging or like starting upping your risk because you're becoming, you know, more confident. And this inevitably makes you take larger losses. And I genuinely think that the easiest solution to just breaking out of this break-even trading bullshit is like literally having a designated stop loss size every single time. Like you're never risking more than 500. Like you're strictly risking 500 every single time when you trade, or like 700 or 1,000, whatever. And a lot of the times that's the answer for people. And it's like A+ setup or B setup or whatever you're taking, it's always the same fucking risk, and you're never like, you know, finicking around with that. So finicking, is that a fucking word? I always kill my trades when price starts to stall out, and then I sit there dumbfounded when price runs on my TP right after. Any psych tricks I can do, just hold longer. That's like a I mean, any psych tricks, that's you're self-aware, bro. You're self-aware of this. Like if you've seen it happen multiple times, you just literally have to come to the realization that you're never going to make money if you keep fucking like selling early or panicking and shit. Like, you think the charts give a fuck about how you feel, bro? It's going to go where it needs to go. You like freaking out about it and staring at it and like trying to like overly protect your position is not going to help you at all. Just accept the fucking losses and accept the wins. I think today was like the main issue with this setup where the ES hadn't hit that unfilled hourly. I don't think that's going to be like a common occurrence where you're going to get like have an encounter situation like that. That was honestly like, bro, even for me, like I wasn't too hyper fixated on that. Like I was pretty ready to short. but I just wanted to see more structure towards the downside before I shorted, because we had just been ripping up. That was sort of where my thought process was at. But that was just like some nerdy Blake shit where he like fucking knows where price is gonna go to the fucking tick. Most of the time it's gonna be pretty clear, just the SMTs and the drawn liquidity. But obviously, it being a no news Monday and low probability, if you are gonna trade it, you're gonna have to be a little extra intricate with it and just make sure, you know, things are aligning on both assets. I don't really put my stops at tops or bottoms of wicks. Whoever just asked that, I usually do it like at the body of like the last down closing candle. So like, let's say I was like entering like right here or something. Let's say the inversion happened right here. I'd usually put it like this. The safer route is to put it at wicks. I'd say, you know, honestly, I'd say if you're if you're unprofitable, put your stop losses at swing highs and swing lows. Like just like put it at like the wicks. Because it happens pretty often where, you know, it can just like go up to here and suddenly you have a fucking SMT at the top, or I don't know, it just runs lower. But the thing is, inversions are most of the time, or a good amount of time, do utilize a decent amount of momentum, and so it's like you don't need like such a hyper specific stop loss. You just want the inversion to have enough room to do its thing. But that's something you'll kind of just get better at with screen time. Do those rules apply when also sweeping higher time frame highs, lows, or just higher time frame fair value gaps? Sweeping higher time frame lows, or just higher time frame gaps? Oh no, definitely applies when it comes to higher time frame lows and highs. If ES is super close to like a really clear high, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's gonna be most of the case where like you see like ES or NQ pushing close to a really obvious high or low. That's just like there's no way this shit isn't gonna take it before the real move happens. That's when it's pretty clear. Something like an unfilled fair value gap, it's a little bit weirder, but it's, once again, they're both liquidity pools, and so they're gonna be treated pretty similar. What do you consider a good inverse? Because sometimes it inverses by a few ticks. The way I like to say it now, the way I like to phrase it, what is a good inverse, is if you don't have to fucking zoom in to see if it inverse, it's a good inverse. Keep it as simple as that, right? It's not a specific tick thing. If you're just like, oh, did it inverse? Wait, I don't know. Oh shit, it did inverse. Then maybe it's not the best inverse. You probably want to wait for a little bit more confirmation. Would you take a retrace if it hit that internal low first? I would if it hadn't hit the 15-minute yet. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if that was the case here. I'm pretty sure that was the case here. I was waiting for a retrace. I was still fine taking a retrace as long as the 15-minute was unfilled. So like if your first like genuine target, because our first target wasn't going to be the internal low. If we got the inverse, it was going to be the 15-minute. So that's where the draw seems super clear. In this case, yes, I would have taken a retrace just because it looked really clear, and that was just confirmation that we wanted to run lower, in my opinion. So yeah. It's fine if yes is on top. Right, if it's trading close to a very like just blatant like pool of liquidity, then yeah. When entering a retrace, should your limit order be momentum price hits the 50% mark or the very end of it? I like to do 50% mark, just like equilibrium of that leg, right? In this case, let's say price stopped right here. It's like I showed before. I would do something like this probably, where it's like at equilibrium. And I would mainly do this if it aligns with the inverse. Let's say if like we're talking about like this inverse, which it like does, right? If, you know, just one of those two. Retrace into the inverse should be your entry really, if you just want. But if you want to use the fib as well, that's another way you can go about it. I like using the fib with 5-minute inverses. Like when we inverse a 5-minute, we wait for a retrace inside of it. I think the fib fucking cooks, bro. The horizontal gray and red lines. No, this isn't for macro. This is just for kill zones like Asian session highs and Asian session lows. Do you recommend I do co-op, or am I fucked? Personal trading over NU? Bro, I mean, have some sort of insurance. Like, I mean, it's like I can't do co-op and run this fucking Discord and trade. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this Discord takes up a lot of fucking time. I can't work. Like, it's just physically fucking impossible. If you're gonna do a co-op and you want to, you know, still be able to trade, Well, if you're in finance, bro, and you're working at banks, you're not. I mean, I don't think you're really. Well, I guess you can funded trade. Fuck, it's not inside trading. But dude, do a co-op. I think everyone should have some sort of real life experience. Just also good to gain. It's co-op is, in my opinion, is more important for knowing what you don't like and do like. And in life, you got to try everything. Well, you got to try a lot of things to know what you like and what you don't like. And I mean that job-wise, not sexually. All right. How long have you been trading for? About 2 years now. Check DM, but not on stream. Will do. What is your preferred MFF expert account size and why? I've been cooking with the 50Ks recently, bro, but I think I'm kind of done with the 50Ks. It's just kind of annoying building that buffer. Like I took a payout on it recently, and then I lost like 2 fucking days in a row, and so like now it's just a shit buffer because it's a fucking 50K, and it's like bruh. So I mean, I just have to play it safe, but it's fine. I'm gonna start getting some 150Ks. It's what I was used to, but like if you want to get a payout really easily, bro, 50K is the easiest way to get a fucking payout. Like it's too fucking easy to get a payout on a 50K. And that was sort of what I was experimenting as recommended by Trin, because he's nice with the my funded futures. So yeah, but I'm probably gonna start switching to 150Ks again. I don't really care about getting smaller, quicker payouts. How to know when it failed? One thing. Hold up. This is generally the best advice you've ever given us. I've been struggling the last couple of years of my life, always doing what my family want me to. Trading is the first time I've actually felt passion for something. Luckily, I just graduated college, and hearing you speak on this makes me confident to go 100% into this shit. Love you, bro. Bro, fucking love you, and I wish you the best. And you got this. My brother's made videos about this before, which is really good too. At one point, did you decide it was okay to drop out? Did you wait for money amount? So I'm not actually dropped out yet, but I am on terms with school that I'm barely. I'm just trying to finish at this point with like the most half-assed. Dude, I'm taking a fucking yoga class, my guy. Like, like it's fried. But it's. I don't think dropping out. A lot of people have the misconception where it's like, oh, if you're making $1 million fucking dollars, like you should drop out. That's not where my head is when it comes to school. Like personally, I do like learning. I'm not gonna lie, that probably sounds nerdy, but I do like learning, and I like sort of like being surrounded by people a lot. Me personally, right? I might go into some crazy existentialism if I just drop out of school completely and I go solo dolo at fucking 20 years old. I know some people like idealize that or think it's awesome, and it is for some people. For me, I kind of want to keep building myself as much as I can until it gets to the point where I literally can't do school at all, and then I'm like, fuck it, bro. Like, you know, at that point, if I can't do it at all, I can't fucking do it at all. So I don't care. Bruh, it's just my grandma, my mom, they're like Hispanic, like, I need to see you graduate, I need to see you walk on stage for your grandma. I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to fucking walk on stage. Maybe I can drive on it with the fucking Porsche now, but who knows. That's like they're not focused too much on the material shit, bro. That's just me personally. Like I like some shit with my like family and like my relationship with them that I just want to do that for them. So I'm trying, but it is hard. Film is my dream, but trading feels like freedom too. You know what I mean? I know I'm a man in chat and you're a man on screen, but that shit like hit for real again. I sacrificed my social for this shit, and that's what got me in my head. But that's a different perspective to help that headspace. Well, I mean, I'm gonna give you something that maybe not a lot of people are like too open and honest about. In college, and I don't know how many people here are college students or like they're done. I think we have a variety of like age groups here, but let me put it to you this way. In a case like me and Blake, I guess, we isolated ourselves really fucking hard for a while to just get good at trading. After getting good at trading, we worked as analysts on another fucking Discord and taught people how to trade there for free for a couple months. And then we wanted to teach people, and then we started this Discord and whatever. This Discord's been great. But I think that, like, I mean, not think, I know that was the best decision I ever made, bro. And like, you like, time is fucking precious, bro. And if there's ever a time you want to like either make sacrifices or experiment or really just, you know, try new things and get better at something, it's during fucking college, bro. Because after, to 99% of people, college is a fucking joke where they're just fucking drinking their life away and, you know, doing whippets and shotgunning fucking beers. Fuck yeah. Which is cool and all, I guess, here and there, but I don't want to be figuring out my life after college, so kind of just wanted to get an early start. And no shame to anyone who is after, right? Everyone's on different timelines. Just me personally, I liked the idea of sacrificing a bit of dumb shit during college and having a more lenient post-college life. When you say structure, what does that mean? Structure in this case would be like, okay, well, this is actually a perfect example. So we have all this sell side liquidity below us. We had been moving up for a while. We did hit that hourly. We don't know if price actually is going to react off this unfilled hourly and the 4 hour. And so when we say we want structure, we just want some sort of confirmation that price wants to run lower. And that typically means letting price sort of take out an internal low and just like get some sort of market structure shift. So like, boom, right here, we see that price runs through this low, but seems to be continue wanting to trade lower, and we still have this liquidity below. This to us can be structure, right? You have now a breaker right here, and you know that price now has this extra confirmation that it could run lower because it has more defense now. It got displacement through these bullish P rays, and there's still these prominent liquidity pools below. And so like this is just a common example of what structure looks like. You have structure to the downside now, right? We've only had bullish structure, but now we broke this bullish structure, and now we're trading. Now we're starting to trade lower. So now that you get this structure, you want to wait for these retracements and then take the shorts towards the rest of the liquidity. This only helps you if you're not too confident or have enough conviction for an earlier entry up here, which is like, this is like the blessing of inversions, is say like you're able to catch really these moves as early as possible, but you can also take them later if another entry presents itself post structure while all this, like, you know, all these targets remain. We just got no retracements here after structure, so it's unfortunate that it had to be that way. But yeah. 1 second. Can you go over the woman inverse at 1322, 122? We just had swept New York AM high, step back into the 1 hour for the pointing on fell 15 below. I can go over it now, but can you journal it? Did you journal it? I can look at it. Alright, so I see right here, sweep of New York session AM highs. I'm just going to do a quick scan of what I see off rip and what I don't. Okay, so that is on unfilled 5-minute right here. More importantly, unfilled 15-minute though. Okay. Oh, seeing a lot of equal highs though. You said 122. Well, I mean, immediately I just wouldn't be taking these because of all these equal highs above. So that's just like an easy rule to like avoid being in a trade. Really, can't short with equal highs above, can't long with equal lows below. But I do see sort of the inversion you're talking about here, right? We sort of have this like accumulation right here. We have a breakout. There is this like 1 minute. I'll check the other time frames right now in 1 second. It appears there's no 2 minute. Well, there's a 2 minute up here, but obviously price rips below it. And I don't know how this trade plays out, but you definitely just shouldn't be in it. Well, you leave these equal highs, right? You just can't be in this trade if there's equal highs above you. And so like the same way these equal highs just got ran through, like, and then the move happened, same thing could happen with these equal highs. So just be conscious of that, bro. I wouldn't be shorting with equal highs above you. I definitely, like, mechanically it seems pretty good, right? We are inside that higher time frame, that hourly. Looks like we had this accumulation, some sort of like almost like kind of a PDI here, but we ended up sort of low volatility right here. But clear manipulation move up to take out AM session highs. Also tapping this higher time frame P array, and then we do get that inversion to the downside. So overall, it looked good if it wasn't for these equal highs, and that's just as straightforward as I can keep it to you. I'm in the same boat as you, finance at NU. Fuck, yeah, it's brutal. How much I risk on 50Ks? I'm actually, I kind of over leverage my 50Ks, bro, but I've been fucking, I understand this shit, you know what I mean? I actually trade like 500 to 750 almost per trade. Oh, no, 500 average, but it kind of fluctuates. It's just so hard managing risk with one con. And I don't like trading micros. But if you're unprofitable, trade micros, please. I just kind of one con everything, and the kind of floor changes my stop size. Yeah, fucking animal, bro. Not a lot of people can get that sales shit right, so I'm glad you did. My boy does sales. Yes, sir. Peace out, grapefruit. I need a piss so bad it's all the way at the other end of the library, so I'm dipping, but thank you. Good night, brother. Your psychology apps have been the biggest contributor to the quality of my trading getting better. Payout on the way. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I didn't journal it because I didn't take it. I was not on the charts then, so I legit 3 minutes after. How do you do like the straight lines when marking them? It's like straight off rip. I just press shift and then I move it. Never went to college, been focused on trading the last 3 years, and now just being profitable when I found out about sell-side liquidity. Built a model around without knowing about ICT. But the problem was the risk management. I made some decent money through profits with the old strategy, but I realized that I needed something with proper risk management, a good win rate. If I ever wanted to use my own money and stay profitable in the future, that's when I found out about you guys. Appreciate all the juicy info you provide us. Much love, man. Much fucking love, Sledge. I hope you continue your journey of profitability. Appreciate that, bro. Just want to see how that setup was minus equal highs. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, so, I mean, overall, draw seems pretty fucking clear. It's just unfortunate when you leave, like, equal highs like that. It's just, like I said, Mondays, it gives you that bullshit, bro. $35,000 a month? Are you fucking serious? I can't tell you how much having this community has helped me and trading journey. I love every single one of you. Thank you for everything y'all do. The model always works well for me. Anyone that hasn't joined Premium yet. My guy, bro, what the fuck? 32 bands is disgusting work, dude. That's a lot of fucking money, bro. It's no joke. Wow. That is no fucking joke, bro. Yeah, you're diffy. Good shit. Good fucking shit. Bro's making doctor salaries. You did not use PDI raise on a girl. I swear that's timeout worthy. Give me the rundown. I want to know how that went about. Bro, my throat is so fucking dry. I be yapping way too much on these fucking calls. Oh, please tell me OBS is working well. Yeah. Is it? Hello? Yeah. Team Journal, CJ Journal. Yeah, this 2 minute wasn't bad. Honestly, it's fucking unfortunate that shit didn't hit. Oh wait, this one. Oh, this was later. Wow, that's a clean. It's a clean PDI right here. Holy smokes. And yeah, that's a tight stop, my guy. I would put it right here. Put it right here. But you definitely didn't. I mean, your draw was right. That's just bullshit. Yeah, you got bullshitted on. You got bullshitted on. It's a bit of a tight stop, but I honestly thought that was pretty respectable. Took this trade today at 2:44 p.m. I know it should have gone off, but it just looked too good within a 3-minute version as we reached OT of the range. It's bouncing off 15-minute Peter Ray with unfilled 15-minute equal highs above 1 2 contracts and SMT with internal sweep of higher time for version close right because market was about to close but ended up making 1.2 on the day, dropping correct. Is this a 2-minute inversion as well? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well played. Well played. Good stop loss. Nice. Good shit. Good shit. Let's fucking go. Good trade, boys. Good PDI. Never. I already read that. You trade with Replicanto? Yeah, I did. I'm not trading with Replicanto right now, actually. I'm just trading like my funded future accounts individually because I'm not trading with Apex anymore. But probably in the next week, yeah, in the next week I'll be using Replicanto again and just trading all my funded futures together, which is only 3. But yeah, I might have to fucking. I kind of want to just rinse these 50Ks, bro. Just pay them out completely and then switch to 150Ks. I don't know. I don't know if I should just go back to fucking. Nah, I'm not gonna go back to Apex, but I low-key might just do it again just so I can get a fucking disgustingly fat payout with them. Because those are. It's just so much money to be made with Apex. It's insane. Is there a video on the Discord how to sub Replicanto? Didn't Will or Ozzy make one? Ozzy has one. He didn't make it, but he has a really good video. Bro, when you take IFEGs, I always hear you guys say you need confirmation in a smaller time frame IFEG. Let's say 15-minute, 5-minute. I feel like I've considered for 1 or 3 minute. Yeah, so I mean specifically with 5 and 15-minute though. So good catch there, good analysis. Yeah, when we get 5-minute and 15-minute inversions, unless it's like a super clean 5-minute, but typically 5 and 15-minute inversions are like large, like it's a large leg and they're typically 40-50 point stops. So we'll wait for retraces into the 5 minutes, and I'll usually enter off of an equilibrium hit in the 5-minute. Blake likes to wait for a 1 minute to be made after the 5 minutes, something like that. It's just conviction based. Sometimes I do the same thing he does, but yeah. I've been using breaker lows or highs to put stop close like Blake does. I think it helps me avoid a lot of breaking. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, your stop loss wasn't bad, but if like you just wanted that extra room, you know, it's not bad. I love all the sauce you and Blake drop. I've only been here for 2 weeks and I've learned so much. Love the model psych you guys provide. Still working on a fund and trying to get it passed and hopefully getting my first payout. Let's fucking go, Mikey. Yeah, sorry, last week was just mid. News post I am every single fucking day. It was just dummy annoying and dummy slow. We only took 2 trades and they just both got rated, but whatever. How much you risk on 150K account? I risk $1,000. Honestly, it's weird because like 150K account and my 50K account risk is not that far off. But that's because I was so used to trading 150s and 250Ks, and I would always risk about a band /750 per account. So like 0.5% to like 0.75, and I mean that habit just translated to the 50Ks, which probably is the reason the payout came so fast. Also because we were just on a disgusting winning streak, but yeah. Yeah. Does anyone else want to send their journals? I'm like low-key way over time right now, but I'll give some look. Oh, I already know what that first one was. Yeah, unfortunate. Delivery from 4 hour and 1 hour sell side. Sweet 5-minute filled above 15-minute filled discount issue. Yeah, this trade was good, bro. It's just fucking Monday, bro. Fuck Monday. This was a great mechanical trade. So both your losses were respectable. Like I wouldn't even be too worried about this. I just hope like your risk was really low, hopefully, and you didn't lose too much money. But yeah, not bad. Let's see. Took the trade on live. I FOMO'd into it since I missed the first 3-minute version of premium. I took the other 3-minute just under the equilibrium of the range. I don't think this was the best trade because my entry was in this kind of the range, but I felt all targets would get ran through. I took the trade because the narratives seemed clear. Since we swept all buy-side targets, we had clear sell-side targets. Yeah, I mean, the sell-side, the draw was super clear. So if you're willing to risk it like this, and it's up to you. You go. I mean, it comes down to you. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to really risk like that, but yeah. Got wicked down and re-entered since I thought draw was clear. I didn't take the 2-minute IFEG in premium because we left equal highs and they don't want to place a stop there. Re-entered since we didn't close above the 4-minute IFEG and Market structure shifts after taking out near AM buy side with 2 sets of equal lows as targets TP hit for 1-1. Still had anxiety for this trade. Yeah, so this is the 120 trade people were talking about that I looked at. Fuck. And you crashed out. Happens, bro. At least you kept it honest. That's real. Happens to everyone. Don't worry about it. You're doing good though. You had to just accept the wins and losses as they were. But yeah, I'm destroyed. I don't know. I'm just so fucking tired now. I have so much other shit to do, guys. But much love. I hope you guys learned something technical wise, something psychology wise. Just anything, bro. Just anything you guys need, let me know. It doesn't have to be trading related. Even if you have like questions about, I don't fucking know, bro. Friends, girls, drugs. You know I got you with anything. So I like to keep it real with y'all. But yeah. Don't be ripping no Fortnite card or Fen. That's disgusting. Don't be doing drugs at all. That's what I'm saying. If you need help, like, stopping anything, I got you. You know, I don't advise anything. There's nothing like a sober fucking mind. Yeah, it's sort of hypocritical because I have been going out way too much, but yeah, I mean, nothing's good for you. I haven't gotten any bitches since I've gotten into trading. Any tips, Patty? Dude, do you want fucking money or do you want bitches? I don't know what to tell you, bro. Pick one. Simple as that. Yeah, but money brings in like the whack bitches. Stay humble. That's I can't express enough. Stay humble, bro. You don't want people. Now I'm not saying to you specifically who said that. I'm saying like just in life, bro. Stay fucking humble. Like people are just fiends. They're just like dirty fucking animals, bro. And like the last thing you want is like some shorty just fucking with you because you got bread. Shit's cringe. Yeah, I did have a girl I was learning. I was in a relationship for like 3-4 years. Not until recently did that end. But she was supportive. She was great. So, no complaints. Life moves on. Never met a Facts. Alright, boys. Bye-bye.